so this right here is my healthy vegan apple cinnamon coffee cake. If you're looking for something simple for breakfast or a delicious healthy dessert, this is it. Of course, I made it using no oil, no wheat, no refined sugar, and no rice. You'll love it. And today, I'm going to show you how to make your own. Okay, so before we start making our apple cinnamon coffee cake, let's talk about the ingredients that we're going to use to do it. We're going to use some fresh organic apples here. We're going to use some almond flour, some oat flour, some dates, of course, some plant milk, some apple cider vinegar, some vanilla, some cinnamon, and then some baking soda and baking powder. If you watched my videos before, you know that baking soda and baking powder is something that I don't typically use when I'm making recipes for myself. But again, I'm dealing with a lot of people who are trying to transition and change their taste buds. And one way to make that more seamless is by adding baking soda and baking powder to dishes like this so that the dough and the crust are fluffy and light like people are used to. If you're someone who doesn't like baking soda or baking powder or prefers not to consume it, then just do like I do. And when you're making this dish, just omit them. It won't change the taste too much, but it may change the texture a bit. All right, so these are the things we're going to use to make this delicious apple cinnamon coffee cake. Let's get started. Okay, I'm going to start by peeling my apples here.
All right, and once I get them peeled, I'm going to dice them into 1/2 to 3/4 inch cubes.
All right, so now that I've got my apples cut and set aside, now what I'm going to do is mix the dry ingredients to make the actual cake. Let's do that now.
If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe below.
Okay, so I've got my dry ingredients mixed together. Next thing we want to do is combine our wet ingredients and blend them.
So the dates that I'm using are nice and soft, but if yours aren't, you could always soak them for a few hours to get them soft.
Okay, so now I've got my wet ingredients blended. I've got my dry ingredients blended. Now the next thing I want to do is make the crumb-like topping that's going to go on top of this cake. Now typically when you make a type of a crumb topping for a cake, you would use things like brown sugar and butter and that kind of stuff. But we're going to do a much healthier version than that. We're going to use some date paste, of course, a little bit of nut butter, and then some cinnamon mixed into our flour to create that crumb sprinkle that we're going to put on top of our coffee cake. So let's do that now.
Now, if you've ever made a typical crumb topping, then you'll notice that the texture and process of making this healthy vegan version is definitely a little different.
All right, so now I've got my crumb topping made. The next thing to do is to combine our wet ingredients with our dry ingredients.
Now, once we've added all of the wet mixture, we're going to gently mix it until combined. Now, this batter has a thick and almost fluffy consistency that's created by combining the baking soda and powder with the vinegar. Now, next I'm going to get the batter into a pan, and then I'm going to be adding my crumb topping.
Okay, and now everything is put together here. The only thing to do is to bake it and then taste it. All right, look at this. It is out of the oven and looks absolutely delicious. Coffee cake is one of my favorites. Whether it's for dessert or for breakfast, you can't beat it. Let's cut it and have a taste.
If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe below.
That is so good. I gotta admit, one of my favorite things are desserts that have apple flavor to them. Apples in them. This is delicious. All right, guys, so I just devoured that first piece of apple cinnamon coffee cake and it is delicious. But I got to thinking what would make it even better is to put some date drizzle over top. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to add it to the recipe. And when you make it, you can do it either way. But I think this is going to take it to even another level.
So the date drizzle is just my date paste recipe, and I've thinned it with just a little bit of water and a splash of vanilla.
All right, apple cinnamon coffee cake, take 2. Even better. So if you're new to my channel and you're wondering how to see the recipe, look below the video and tap on the word more, and you'll see the beginning of the recipe. Tap on the word more a second time, and you'll be able to see the full recipe, and then you can begin to make your own. Thanks for watching.